Oh, hello viewers. Welcome back to class. I'm super excited to welcome you back to Master Builders Online Academy. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not done so, and ensure that you turn on the post notification bell for more exciting videos when being uploaded. Guys, also don't forget some of our policy here. Do not skip any part of this video. This is for your own advantage because you may skip the very vital aspect that you need to gain mastery over this topic. And also, don't forget to avoid every unnecessary distractions anytime you are set to watch our videos and to learn new concepts from our platform. And finally, if there be any part in this video that you do not understand when you watch it for the very first time, please have the singular opportunity to replay the video over and over again as you wish until you understand it. Yes, you must understand it. Just take your time to watch it over and over again and ensure you do not skip the video. Okay, now, welcome back. This is a continuation class. Alright, so on the board we are still dealing with second order differential equation. And under second order differential equation, we are practically looking at case 1. And in case 1, we also have some subtopics or sub-cases. And now we have looked at the first case under case 1. Now we want to look at case 2 under case 1. And what was that case 2 all about? We said that for us to be able to provide solution effectively for second order differential equation where f of x is equal to 0 at the right hand side of the equation, that the result that you have is what determines the root of the equation, is what determines the category or the type of solution that we have for that second order differential equation. So now we have looked at real and different roots. Now we are looking at real and equal roots. The general solution is given by y is equal to e exponent mx open bracket constant a plus constant bx. In another video, I will teach us how this equation was derived. But here now, we want to apply it. For case number 1, I taught you guys how the equation was derived. So in this case, we will not be able to look at this now, but in another video, I will look at it critically. So that for some of us who have the desire to know how this theory or this equation came into being, then I will hold you by the hand and walk you through the process of deriving this equation. But now, we will only make use of this equation. But don't forget, you need to install these equations in your mind. Now, for this purpose, you see that we just have m, no inscription of either m1 or m2. Why? Because the two roots that you are going to have, they are going to be exactly the same. And that's the reason why I now went further and said m is equal to m1 or m1, because the two results you will have, they are the same. They can either be 2, 2, 3, 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 2, minus 2, just like that, 4, 4, just like that, equal and real values. Now, let's start solving problem from question number 4. Now, we are asked to solve the square y over the x squared, then plus 6dy over the x plus 9y is equal to 0. I will teach you the shortcut of getting this. Alright? I will teach you the shortcut of getting this, but let's work it out the way it should be. Okay? Now, the first thing you must do is to identify what you have at the right hand side of the equation. When what you have at the right hand side of the equation is 0, you already know that you are dealing with case 1. And in such case, you quickly label this as equation 1. So from equation 1 now, we need to find equation 2 and equation 3. Now, what we have here now will be our equation 3. We need to deduce equation 2 from equation 1 and understand that equation 2 is always the auxiliary equation of this second order differential equation. Now, how do we get auxiliary equation? All we simply do is to reduce this complex derivative toward a simple term. And now, what do? We now therefore say that the auxiliary equation is, now we therefore have this as what? M squared, we replace this guy, plus 6. Now the one over the x is represented with m, plus 9, y is represented with what? 1. So 9 times 1, or 9 multiplied by 1, is 9. Then this is equal to 0. This is equation 2. You see, it's very simple to deduce equation 2 from equation 1. Now we want to obtain equation 3 from equation what? 2. And what do we even need in equation 3? All we just need now is n. We don't need e, we don't need x, we don't need a, we don't need b. The only thing we need now is m. That means we need to obtain the value of m from equation 2. That's all. And now looking at equation 2, we discovered that what we have here is quadratic equation. So you can use any method of your choice. But don't forget we are using what? The factorization method here, except factorization method cannot work. Okay? So how do we use factorization method? This guy multiplies the constant. And this are giving us plus 9m squared. So we will come to this page of the board and have this as plus 9m squared. Then we will quickly look at for what? 2 factors of 9. Of course, anytime you are looking for 2 factors, the number multiplied by 1 is always the first factor. Are you there? Then 3 multiplied by 3. Are you there? That's all. So now, and I explained earlier that for the product of 2 factors to be positive, it is either the 2 factors are positive, positive, or negative, negative. So that is to say, I can equally have minus 9 multiplied by minus 1, or minus 3 multiplied by minus 3. All of these will give me positive 9 if I multiply them out. Are you there? Now the next thing I do is that I have been able to deduce or what? Obtain the 2 factors of what? 9. What do I need now? The next thing is to what? Pick one of these options. But I cannot just pick one of these options by what? Making any choice. No. The choice of what to pick here depends on what I have as the coefficient of the middle term. And the coefficient of the middle term here is plus 6. So I will need to add up these values together and see the one that will give me plus 6. Anyone here that gives us plus 6 is the factors we are going to go with. Are we there? So we add this together, this would have given us 10. We add this together, this would have given us positive 6. We add this together, this would have given us what? Negative 10 and negative 6. So when we look at this one, now we have positive 6, then we are going to go with this. As simple as this. All the other 3 factors, they are useless as far as this question is concerned. This particular question. But they are useful in another question. If, for instance, this middle term here was minus 10, then we would have gone with this. Or if the middle term here is plus 10, we will go with the first one. Or if the middle term here is minus 6, we will go with the last one. So not that all of these other factors, they are useless. But for this question, truly they are useless. Okay, now guys, let's get to work. Now at this point, this will have given us m squared, plus we are going to replace this 6 by 3m plus 3m. You must ensure that when you sum up these 2 values, it will give you the middle term. Then plus 9 equal to 0. Now that we have done this, we need to group these terms 2 by 2. Now between the first 2 terms, what is common? M. That's all. I have m squared here, then I have 3m here. It's only m that is common. Open a bracket. Now m squared divided by m, 1m will be left, plus 3m divided by m, only 3 will be left. Now in the last 2 sessions, the last 2 terms that we have here, the first term here is with m. The last term is without m. That means m is not common. Now I check this is 9, this is 3, and 3 is a factor of 9. That means 3 is common. Put that 3, then repeat the same thing you have in the first bracket. M plus 3 or equal to 0. Now that we have this, the next thing we are quickly going to do is to what? Collect the multiplication factors. And I have emphasized over time that the multiplication factors are the factors outside the brackets. And the first factor outside the bracket here is m, and the second factor is plus 3. We have done that. Then we will now pick one of these equal brackets, which is also m plus 3. And this is equivalent to 0. Now understand that for the product of 2 factors to be 0, it is either the first bracket is equal to 0 or the second bracket is equal to 0. So from here, when we make m the cellular formula, we will take plus 3 from left to right, and that would have given us minus 3, or m is equal to what? Minus 3. Finally, m is equal to minus 3 twice, because the 2 roots are exactly the same. So what you just need to do is to pick one and say twice, and that's exactly what fits into this. So you see now we have only one value. So anytime you solve second order differential equation and you have equal roots, this is the formula you use to get the general solution for the second order differential equation. So all we need to do now is to recall that y is equal to e m of x, open bracket a plus b x. Alright, so this will have given us minus 3. Just replace m with each value, open bracket a plus b x. Guys, this is the answer to these very questions. This is the answer. You see, it is very, very simple. So for those of us that are already good with factorization or that are good with quadratic equation in general, you will not have issues with this if you are able to get your equation 2. Every other thing is already child's play. Then the last thing you must know is to know this formula. Never to forget, because it is not enough for you to just get the value of n. Where will you impute the value of n? It matters. So guys, don't forget to understand principles, because when you understand principles, you become a principal. And also, when you understand boundary conditions, therefore, you will not overstep your boundary. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not done so, and ensure that you turn on the post notification bell for more exciting videos. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, and ensure that you make your necessary comment. See you as we solve question number 5 and question number 6. We have question number 5 on the board, which happens to be the second question under real and equal roots. Now we are asked to solve d square y over dx squared minus 10 dy over dx plus 25y is equal to 0. Now this will be equation 1. Now from equation 1, we have 2 additional equations that we need to obtain. So first is to obtain equation 2, which is the auxiliary equation, and finally is to obtain the general solution, which depends solely on the auxiliary equation. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. Now, all we need to do here is to convert to auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation. Now we already understand how to convert to auxiliary. So this becomes m squared minus 10m plus 25 multiplied by 1, which is 25, equal to 0. And this becomes equation 2. It's as simple as this. To obtain the auxiliary equation is just one step. Now, from equation 2, we want to obtain equation 3. And all we need in equation 2 to get equation 3 is just the value of the variable m. And now for me to solve this m, I need to identify what type of equation is this. And this is quadratic equation. A quadratic equation have numbers of methods to solving them. Is that correct? So all we need to do here is to make use of factorization, as I said earlier. Then we will make use of factorization where the highest degree of m multiplies the constant, and this will have given us plus 25m squared. Now, for the product of 2 factors to be positive 25, we want to quickly look at for the product of 25. 2 factors such that when we multiply them, they will give us 25m squared. Then we come here and put down 25 plus 25m squared. So create a column for the 2 factors. The first factor must always be the number and 1, or minus 25 and minus 1. Throw positive outcome. Then this is 5 multiplied by 5, or minus 5 multiplied by 5. Guys, these are the only 4 factors of positive 25. Now, we cannot go with all these 4 factors. We need only 1 factor. And what controls the one we are going to pick from here is the middle term. Now, when we look at this middle term here, the middle term here is minus 10. So we are quickly going to sum up these factors and see the one that will give us minus 10. Of course, this is 26, this is minus 26, this is 10, and this is minus 10. So you see that it is the last factor that gives us the coefficient of the middle term. Then we are going to go with what? Minus 5 and minus 5. It's as simple as this. So what we just need to do now is to replace the middle term. This will give us m squared minus 5m minus 5m plus 25 equal to 0. Now from here we can now group the first 2 terms and group the last 2 terms. Now between the first 2 terms, guys, what is common here is m. Put down m. M squared divided by m, we are left with m. minus 5m divided by m, we are left with minus 5. Then in between the last two terms, m is in the first term but not in the last term. That means m is not common. But I have 5 here and I have 25 here, and 5 is a factor of 25. That means 5 is common, so minus 5 is common. Then repeat what you have in the first bracket. It's as simple as it. This is 0. So at this point now, all we just need to do is to what? Collect the multiplication factor and use it to form one bracket. And what are multiplication factors? Factors that are outside the bracket. And the first factor outside the bracket here is m. The second bracket outside the bracket is minus 5. Then we can now pick one of these equal brackets, which is also m minus 5 equal to 0. And by understanding, we know that for the product of two factors to be 0, it is either the first is 0 or the second is 0. So we therefore have that m minus 5 is equal to 0 or m minus 5 is equal to 0. From this point now we have m is equal to 5. Don't forget, as minus 5 crosses from left hand side to the right hand side, it becomes positive 5. And as minus 5 equally crosses from the left hand side to the right hand side, we also have positive 5. Therefore, m is equal to 5 twice. You see, the roots are real and they are equal. This is what we mean by real and equal roots. So all we need to do now is to remember what is the general solution for second order differential equation for real and equal root. And that equation is given as exponent mx open bracket a plus bx. That's all. And now y becomes exponent 5x open bracket a plus bx. Guys, it's as simple as this. You don't need to crack your brain. The reason why you forget often and often is because you do not know the principles. You suddenly become a principal when you know principles. So guys, seek to know the boundary condition, seek to know the principles. This will help you to gain mastery over any area of life. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not done so, and ensure that you turn on the post notification bell for more exciting videos. Also, don't forget to share this video, don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to comment at the comment section. We love you guys. Let's look at question number 6. Which we have question number 6 on the board. We are asked to solve d square 1 over dx squared minus 4dy over dx plus 4y is equal to 0. Now, when we look at this equation, the right hand side of the equation is already equated to be 0, which happens to be case 1. And anytime second order differential equation is equated to 0, we can term that equation as equation 1. So now from this equation 1, we need to deduce two more equations to get our final answer. First is to deduce equation 2, which is known to be what? The auxiliary equation. And finally is to obtain equation 3 from equation 2, which is known as the general solution to the second order differential equation, which is the roots dependent. Alright? Now the first thing we do here now is to obtain equation 2. And to obtain equation 2, we convert equation 1 to its equivalent auxiliary equation. And that's giving us the auxiliary equation is m squared minus 4m plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay? So now, and we call this equation 2. Now we have successfully obtained equation 2, guys. What is the next thing? The next thing we are quickly going to do here is to provide solution for m so that we can substitute it to equation 3 where we have m. How do we obtain the value of m here? We need to identify the type of equation this equation is. And we know that this is a quadratic equation that requires us to use any of the 4 methods that we taught earlier, right? Now we are going to use factorization method to solve this question. Now, how do we use factorization method? We multiply the m squared by the constant. And this will be giving us plus 4m squared. And I explained earlier, the next thing you quickly do after multiplying this out is to find two factors of this, their end product. And now we have plus 4m squared. So the coefficient of the middle term here is -4. So all we are quickly going to do is to sum up these factors together and see the one that will give us -4. So this would have given us +5. This would have given us -5. This would have given us +4. And this would have given us -4. So we are going to go with the last factor. It's as simple as this. So I guess you have even know how to solve quadratic equation using factorization method via this lesson. So you see why you should need to subscribe, and you also see why you need to help us broadcast this platform. Share this video and share what Master Builders is doing via YouTube and other social media platforms. Now, at this point, all you simply need to do is to replace the middle term with those two factors. So this will have given us this. Now -2n will give us this back. If not so, you are wrong. Now that we have successfully replaced the middle term with these two factors, then we can group these terms into first two and the last two. Now between the first two, what is common is always m. Open a bracket, m squared divided by m, we have m, and -2m divided by m, we have -2. Then between -2m and 4, what is common is 2, because we have m here, but there's no m in the last term. That shows that m is not common. But the only thing that is common is an integer, which is 2. So 2 is a factor of what? 2 of 4. So I have this here. Then I repeat the first bracket. This is equal to 0. This is it. Now what else do we do here? The next thing we are quickly going to do here is to collect the multiplication factor, which are numbers or factors outside the bracket, which include m and -2. So we use it to form one bracket, then we pick one of these equal brackets. And this is equal to 0. And understand that for the product of two factors to be 0, it is either the first is equal to 0 or the second is equal to 0. Principles makes a man a principal. And when you know boundary conditions, you will not overstep your boundaries. Now, I have m -2 is equal to 0, or m -2 is equal to 0. And at this point, we are going to make m the sort of formula. And when we do that, this will have given us 2. And this also will have given us 2. And therefore, we have that m is equal to what? 2 twice. The two results are real, but are the same. That's equal. Then, when two roots are real and equal, all I need to do is to use y is equal to e mx into a plus bx. Finally, I have this is equal to, the result is 2x, open bracket, a plus bx. This is the answer to this very question. Guys, it is very, very simple for you to do. Very, very simple for you to learn. And very, very simple for you to write effectively in any examination. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not done so. And ensure that you turn on the post notification bell for more exciting videos. And for some of us that need physical class, you can contact us. We teach both online classes and physical class. So guys, don't forget to share this video, like this video, and make your necessary comment. You can slide that to the description below where you will find the link to the next class. So see you guys in the next class. Love you. Thanks for watching.